नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. We have selected the verse from the first chapter, the 5th verse. Second canto, the first chapter is known and entitled as the first step in God realization. Okay. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shotabhyah Kirtitavyas Cha Smartavyas Chetchatabhayam Chetchatabhayam Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotabhya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyasche Chatabhayam Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotabhya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyasche Chatabhayam. How many of you have iPhone? You have the verse in the iPhone? Okay. Okay, those who have can repeat the verse. I'll do it once again. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotabhya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyasche Chatabhayam.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari
Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari
Shrotabhya Kirtitavyascha
Shrotabhya Kirtitavyascha
Smartavyasche
Bhayam
Chatabhayam
Smartavyasche Chatabhayam. What about yourself?
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari
Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotabhya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyasche Chatabhayam.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotabhya Kirtitavyascha
Smartavyasche Chatabhayam.
Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotabhya
Shrotabhya Kirtitavyascha
Smartavyascha
cheta bhayam. Smartabhaschechata bhayam.
तस्माद् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवान् ईश्वरो हरि
Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari.
श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च
Tabhya kirtitabbascha.
कर्तव्यश्चेच्छता वयम्
Smartabhaschechata bhayam. Very good. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma. Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari. Shrotabhya kirtitabbascha. Smartabhaschechata bhayam. Tasmat, for this reason, Bharata, O descendant of Bharat, Sarvatma, the Super Soul, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Ishvaraha, the controller, Hari, the Lord, who vanquishes all miseries. Shrotabhya is to be heard. Kirtitabhya, to be glorified. Cha, also. Smartabhya, to be remembered. Cha, and Ichchata, of one who desires. Abhayam, freedom. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. O descendant of King Bharat, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the Super Soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. Please repeat after me. O descendant of King Bharat, one who desires to be free, from all miseries, must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the Super Soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the previous verse, Sri Shukadev Goswami has described how the foolish materially attached men are wasting their valuable time in the improvement of the material conditions of life by sleeping, indulging in sex life, developing economic conditions, and maintaining a band of relatives who are to be vanquished in the air of oblivion. Being engaged in all these materialistic activities, the living soul entangles himself in the cycle of the law of fruitive actions. Being engaged in all these materialistic activities, the living soul entangles himself in the cycle of the law of fruitive actions. This entails the chain of birth and death in 8,400,000 species of life. The aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, and uncivilized men. And then again, the human form, which is the chance for getting out of the cycle of fruitive action. Therefore, if one desires freedom from this vicious circle, then one must cease to act as karmi or enjoyer of the results of one's own work, good or bad. One should not do anything either good or bad on his own account, but must execute everything on behalf of the Supreme Lord, the ultimate proprietor of everything that be. The process of doing work is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita 9:27 also, where where instruction is given for working on the Lord's account. Therefore, one should first of all hear about the Lord. When one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, one must glorify his act and deeds. And thus it will become possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. Hearing about and glorifying the Lord are identical with the transcendental nature of the Lord. And by so doing, one will be always in the association of the Lord. This brings freedom from all sorts of fear. The Lord is the Supersoul, Paramatma, present in the hearts of all living beings. And thus, by the above hearing and glorifying process, the Lord invites the association the Lord invites the association of all in His creation. The process of hearing about and glorifying the Lord is applicable for everyone, whoever he may be, and it will lead one to the ultimate success in everything in which one may be engaged by providence. There are many classes of human beings: the fruitive workers, the empiric philosophers, the mystic yogis, and ultimately the unalloyed devotees. For all of them, one and the same process is applicable for achieving the desired success. Everyone wants to be free from all kinds of fear, and everyone wants fullest extent of happiness in life. The perfect process for achieving this here and now is recommended in the Srimad Bhagvatam, which is uttered by such a great authority as Srila Sukadeva Goswami. By hearing about and glorifying the Lord, all a person's activities become molded into spiritual activities, and thus all conceptions of material miseries become completely vanquished. So, Sukadeva Goswami started to answer the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by a Brahmana boy, Shringi, that he would leave his body within 7 days. And as soon as Parikshit Maharaj got to know that, he left everything, went to the bank of the Ganges to prepare himself for departing from this planet. And in this way, it has been pointed out how one should prepare for his death. In today's world, no one is preparing for death. Everybody is trying to extend his duration of life here. The medical science has developed all kinds of facilities to extend the life. One, at the time of death, one cannot breathe. One won't be able, his heart won't be able to circulate his blood. But what the medical science is doing, okay, one cannot breathe, so supply oxygen. I remember previously they used to give oxygen to breathe. A cylinder used to be there. Now they have developed another thing called ventilator. They insert something through the throat and they pump oxygen. Let him live. The heart is not functioning. They have artificial way of activating the heart, pumping the blood. Now what's the point in extending one's life like that? And actually the person himself is miserable. It would be better if he died, and he also prays, let me die, let me go. But his relatives put him into the hospital and make arrangements. No, no, don't let him die. And they're spending a lot of money. I've seen people don't have money, but they're, sending their dead, almost dead relatives to the hospital just to extend their duration here. But what's the point in living like that? On the other hand, we see Parikshit Maharaj. He was healthy and strong, and he could have arranged to counteract the curse. Actually, there are people who could counteract the curse or the snake bite. There is this anecdote there, like Takshak, the snake that was supposed to bite. It was a celestial snake. It was not an ordinary snake. A celestial snake from the heavenly planet, from higher planetary system. Friend of Indra. He was a friend of Indra. And he could assume any form. So he assumed the form of a Brahmana. And he was coming. Because as a snake he won't be able to enter there. So he was going there as a Brahmana. So on the way he met another Brahmana. So, well, oh, where are you going? I'm going to see Parikshit Maharaj. Oh, I'm also going there. So let's go together. So while they're traveling, they started to talk. Why are you going there, by the way? Well, I am Kashyap. I'm Kashyap, actually. His name was not Kashyap, Kashyap. And I have the power to counteract the bite of Takshak. I heard that the king is going to be beaten by Takshak, and I can counteract the snake bite. So Takshak became very angry. He says, I am Takshak. And he assumed his serpentine form. Huge snake with many heads. And there was a banyan tree there. So Takshak just beat into that. And immediately the tree turned to ashes, got burnt to ashes. So see, this is my power. Then Kashyap, he had his water pot, took some water in his hand, chanted some mantra, sprinkled the water, and the banyan tree came back. So then Takshak said that, look, it is not just my bite. My bite now has been empowered by the curse of a Brahmana. You may counteract my poison, but you won't be able to counteract the curse of the Brahmana. So better don't go there. You go back and I'll give you all this wealth. He gave many precious gems to him. So Kashyap went back. So this is how there was possibility of counteracting the snake bite. But what did Parikshit Maharaj do? Did Parikshit Maharaj take any recourse to counteract the snake bite? No. Okay, I'm supposed to die within 7 days, been cursed by a Brahmana. Fine. So, let me now prepare. So now the Lord wants me to go back. So let me go back. So this is how a saintly person reacts. That's the difference between a materialistic person and a spiritual personality. A spiritual personality is not afraid of death. A spiritual personality is not afraid of death because a spiritual personality knows that the soul is immortal, it's only a matter of changing body. So if it's a matter of changing body, and if in exchange of an old body we can get a new body, why shouldn't we go for that? Okay, let me ask here. Say, Keshav Priya, how old is your car?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. So now if a proposal is given that get rid of this 2-year-old car and we'll give you a new car, a better model. What car do you have now?
Honda CR.
Honda CRV. So if the proposal is given, you'll get a Mercedes S series, new one. What will you say?
Of course.
Right. It is a natural consideration. If at the exchange of an old one, in place of an old one, if we can get a new car, better one, why shouldn't we go for that? So a devotee knows that because he is practicing devotional service in this life, his next body is going to be a better one. And instead of an old body, he'll get a new body. Instead of a new old car, he'll get a new car, a better car. So why should he say, well, extend the thing? And one doctor acquaintance of mine once told me that what medical science is doing is extending the suffering condition of the human beings. They are not actually alleviating the suffering condition. They are extending the suffering condition. So a wise person, what will he do? As Parikshit Maharaj did. Okay, 7 days. Oh, fine. 7 days, now I have to prepare. I can prepare myself. Most of us don't know when death will come. Therefore, the intelligent thing to do is to be prepared all the time. All the time. Parikshit Maharaj at least had the good fortune of hearing that in 7 days he will get. But we don't know, so death can come at any moment. So what is Krishna consciousness teaching us? Krishna consciousness is teaching us to be prepared for death at any time. At any moment. Whenever death comes, are you ready to go? At least that's what we have to practice. And that's why the first thing is, we have to be free from material attachments. What is the way to become free from material attachments? I know in household life, it is very difficult to become free from material attachments because you have your close, very, very close relatives, especially children. So what is the secret of becoming free from material attachments for householders? Should
Put Krishna in the center.
Very nice. Put Krishna in the center. They are not your children. They are Krishna's children. You are simply a caretaker. You are taking care of your children on behalf of Krishna. So otherwise people think, oh, what will happen if I die? What will happen to my children? But if we recognize that, well, they're Krishna's children, Krishna will take care. Krishna is taking care of everyone. So why should I think that unless I take care, then they will? So that is a wise way of thinking. Because it's not that we become heartless. No. We rather become practical. Because when death comes, can anyone stop that? When death comes, we won't be able to stop that. So let's face it. So that is the first consideration. Then the second consideration is that generally people are afraid of death. What will happen? What will happen? Now, we have to have the confidence Abhashya rakhibe Krishna Vishwas palan. Krishna will protect me. I have surrendered myself to Krishna, and Krishna will protect me. Like if I have a servant, don't we take care of the servant? Don't we take care of our children? Don't we take care of our relatives? Don't we even take care of our animals that are under our care? If the animal is in difficulty, we go out of our way to save the animal. So often we see like some animal, domestic animal, cow or goat or sheep, or even dogs. When the dog gets into the difficulty, how does the owner of the dog feel? He goes out of his way to save the dog. So if we surrender to Krishna, and if we become Krishnas, then won't Krishna take care? So that confidence we have to have. And that's what Sukadeva Goswami is reminding or telling Parikshit Maharaj. The Bharat, he addressed him as Bharat. Bharat means descendant of King Bharat. Descendant of King Bharat, Parikshit Maharaj is a descendant of King Bharat. Therefore, he is Bharat. And what one should do, Parikshit Maharaj, therefore one should remember constantly. And how to remember? By hearing and speaking about him. The Krishna consciousness has been ultimately defined in this very simple passage, very simple expression. Always remember Krishna and never forget him. Always remember Krishna, never forget him. So how to always remember Krishna? By hearing about Krishna and by singing the glories of Krishna. By understanding who Krishna is ourselves and telling others who Krishna is. So, in this way, if we engage ourselves, then we will become free from cha ichchate abhayam chechate bhayam. So, those who are desirous of becoming fearless, this is what they should do. So all the time, hear about Krishna, shrotabhya, kirtitabhyascha. Hear and kirtita means, kirtan means chant. Chanting means not just chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in japa or kirtan. Preaching is also chanting. And this way preaching is more effective chanting. Because when we preach, we remind ourselves also. When we speak about Krishna, we also hear about Krishna ourselves. So this is the very simple process that Parikshit Maharaj received from Sukadeva Goswami. And this is what this is the essence of Srimad Bhagvatam. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always sing the glory of Krishna. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam. Shravanam Kirtanam. First is Shravan and then Kirtan. First you hear, then you chant. First you study, then you lecture. Then you impart the knowledge. So that is what needs to be done all the time. And it has pointed out, Prabhupada in the translation, Prabhupada pointed out that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is there in the hearts as the Super Soul. And at the same time he is Ishvaraha, he is the Supreme Controller. The Supreme Controller is so close to us, he is in our hearts. So when we speak about him, he hears. And he becomes pleased. We may not see him, but he is seeing us. So when he hears that we are singing his glory, then he gets very happy. Oh, this devotee of mine is speaking about me. And he is giving this knowledge to people, those who are not Krishna conscious. He's trying so hard to make others also my devotees. He is trying so hard to bring the living entities back to me. So Krishna naturally becomes very, very pleased. That's why preaching is so important. When it comes to that, don't feel shy. Prabhupada said, even if you know that Krishna is God, just go and tell everybody. If you don't know anything, just tell them, Krishna is God. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. And then if he says that, how do you know? Then you can say, okay, then you come to my temple. There are other devotees who are very learned. Come and listen to them, speak to them. Even though we are not able to convince fully, if we cannot convince them, if we cannot give them the proper knowledge fully, at least we can tell them that, well, we'll make arrangements. You see, I am not very learned myself, but my godbrother or my uncle is very learned. So he will come, I'll bring him to you. And this way, if the person is interested, he will come, he will listen. And Krishna consciousness is so perfect that if anybody listens, becomes convinced. We come across so many people like that. Like they say that we never heard anything like this before. And this is Srimad Bhagvatam. This is the knowledge that Srila Prabhupada gave. So when we present it properly, intelligent class of people will automatically respond. They will say, yes, this is it. It's not just some blind faith. My religion is better than yours. What does your religion say about God? Our religion says, don't even think about God. So what kind of religion is that? Then why are you following that? The religion that doesn't even teach you about God, why do you speak about? Why do you follow that religion? Whereas our approach is that let us know, let's find out fully about God. Who God is, what He looks like, what His name is, where He lives, what He does, what He likes to do. And all the information is there. Sometimes people ask Prabhupada that, oh, your God, this Krishna is your Hindu God. Prabhupada's response to that was, okay, at least my God has this form, this name. What is the name of your God? How does your God look like? At least I have an understanding that this is my God, and what about your God? So if you don't have any information about your God, then come and I will give you the information about your God. And ultimately your God and my God is the same. No difference. Only thing is because you do not know about your God, you think that your God is different from my God. But since I have the right understanding, I know your God and my God is the same. So join us I'm ready to join you. If you want to glorify your God in your temple, in your mosque, in your church, we'll go there. Glorify your God, provided He is real God. Some demigod we are not interested in. And some semi-god we are not interested in. Some phony god, imitation god, we are not interested. If you are talking about one and the only one Supreme Personality of Godhead, yes, He is my God also. He is one without a second. Now this is how He looks like. So why don't you accept? You are saying He is the greatest, so He is the greatest. Look at His activities, what He did. So this is how Srimad Bhagavatam is equipping us with informations. And with these informations, we are able to face anybody, and with this information, we are able to convince ourselves fully. Become fully convinced. Don't have any doubt. So that is the way to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and approach Him. Just as Sukadeva Goswami instructed Parikshit Maharaj. That's the process. Thank you very much. So accept the process very nicely. Always remember that Srila Prabhupada gave you the most precious spiritual gift. So take full advantage of this gift. And the result is your human form will be successful. Human form is providing you the opportunity to finish off the business of this world. Go back to Godhead. So take full advantage of that opportunity. Does anybody have any question? Yes, Suman?
When Ambarish Maharaj was cursed by the Muni, the Lord protected him. But when Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, he wasn't protected by the Lord. How would you analyze why?
Good point. So here we have to understand what's the ultimate protection. Will the Lord protect our body or will He protect our soul? He may protect our body, but that's not the ultimate protection. The ultimate protection is the protection of the soul. And as far as protecting the body, Krishna protected Parikshit Maharaj even when he was in his mother's womb. Therefore Parikshit Maharaj's attitude is, well, when I was a child, when I was in my mother's womb, you protected me. So now, if you want me to go, I'll go. It's not a matter of protecting the body that he was interested in, because he knew that the Lord will always protect him, the soul. Any other question? Yes.
My cousin has recently been diagnosed with cancer. She's a Christian. She's quite young, at 54, and it's quite serious. So she's been a good person, in her life, in as much as one is good in a general way. When I talk with her, do I just talk in terms of the Christian God and death, or
talk with her in such a way that she will be able to accept it and understand it, or rather understand it and accept it. Just tell her that the Lord is in your heart. Give her that reminder, right? If she is not prepared to accept His form, the way He looks like, just at least remind her that He is there.
He is with her?
He is with you. So pray to Him. Pray to Him. He is so close to you, just try to feel Him. And then gradually, if she is ready to listen and accept, then you can say, how the Lord looks like? This is how He looks like.
and then
Yeah, just gradually you take her.
Thank you.
That's an important aspect, about preaching. We must give them the dose to the extent that they can digest it.
Yes.
Like, what's the point in giving a dose that they'll suffer from
Well,
indigestion?
I can't say to her, please read Bhagavatam.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Right, yeah. So just, give her to the extent that she can accept it and understand it and accept it. Okay. So no question. Okay. Then have breakfast. Dwarkadish, take breakfast and then we will have.
just a quick comment, Guru Maharaj. The part you were talking about where we are about to die, and it's so nice to realize that we can just surrender to Krishna and He will take care
Be
of us.
fearless.
So whatever
Yeah.
He wishes.
Right, yeah.
It's such a relaxing thing.
Thank you.
Just a lot of time I get even questions from karmis, families, and even devotees. They get confused when they hear Parikshit Maharaj's story. They say, "Oh, he was really lucky. He had 7 days." But I say, "What about we? We are also lucky." They say, "How come? We also have 7 days. From Monday to Sunday, it's 7 days." So only difference is that he knew which 7th day, and we don't. So we have to be more prepared than he is.
Yeah, right.
We
Yeah.
never know which one.
Yeah, that's why we have to be prepared all the time. In a way, it's true. Like Parikshit Maharaj knew that he was going to live in 7 days, but we don't know when we have to live. So let us be prepared for that. Let us remain prepared all the time. And that is one thing that we need to practice. If death comes now, what we are going to do? What will you do, Keshapriya? If the time comes now?
Try to remember as much as.
You won't consider your bank account?
No.
Your wife? She's here, she's listening. That's good. That's very good.
This is if you want to read this, that's the instruction given by Parikshit Maharaj to his mother.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe we can read it to all of us.
Dear mother, you as well should always worship this young cowherd boy. He is the ocean that yields the nectar of the rasa dance, in which divine gopis fully surround him, entranced by pure love. You should cherish the desire to be a servant of these gopis. You should constantly worship him in pure love as they did, and you should dedicate yourself to the Sankirtana of his names. Very good. It's from Brihad Bhagavatam written.
It was right after Bhagavatam ended.
Yeah. Oh, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam? No, Brihad Bhagavatam. Right.
Holiness Bhakti Churu Swami ki.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.